Your body is not from this world. Not literally, you are not an alien, probably. But the world your body was shaped in is not the world you live in now. Your body was not shaped for office chairs, glowing screens, snack aisles, traffic noise, password resets, or emails that begin with just following up. For most of human history, your body lived in a very different world. A world where movement was normal, food required effort, stress usually had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And nobody had to sit perfectly still in a meeting while their soul quietly left the room. So if modern life sometimes feels weird in your body, maybe that does not mean your body is broken. Maybe your body is old software running in a very new world, and the glitches show up everywhere. Let's start with movement. Your body does not understand chairs. A chair seems harmless. It has legs. You have legs. Everyone is trying their best. But from your body's point of view, sitting still for most of the day is extremely suspicious. For most of human history, movement was not something you scheduled after work. It was built into survival. Walking, carrying, climbing, digging, gathering, tracking, building, helping, escaping. Ancient humans were not doing cardio. Their life was the cardio. Today, you can wake up, sit at breakfast, sit in a car, sit at work, sit at lunch, sit at work again, sit in a car again, then sit at home because you are exhausted from all the sitting. At some point, your legs must be wondering, are we still part of this body, or are we decorative? Now, this does not mean ancient humans were constantly running around like Olympic athletes with spears. That is a fantasy. They rested too. They conserved energy. They sat, squatted, knelt, waited, and recovered. But their rest was often mixed with movement. Modern life created something very strange, a body built to move, inside a world designed to keep it still. Then your smartwatch buzzes and says, time to stand, which is basically a tiny robot reminding you that you are technically a mammal. That is the first mismatch. Your body generally works better with regular movement, but modern life makes stillness effortless, and sometimes even professional. Apparently climbing the furniture during a meeting is inappropriate. Fine, now let's talk about food. Your body is extremely interested in calories. This is not because you are weak. This is not because your body is stupid. This is because for most of human history, energy mattered. Sweetness could mean ripe fruit. Fat meant dense energy. Salt could be valuable. A strong desire for high energy food made sense in a world where food was seasonal, uncertain, and required effort. Your body did not evolve inside a supermarket. It did not evolve with delivery apps. It did not evolve with snacks quietly appearing in cupboards like edible ghosts. Imagine bringing a hungry ancient human into a modern grocery store. They would not think, ah yes, consumer capitalism. They would think this is the cave of the gods, and then they would find the cereal aisle and need a moment. Modern food environments combine things older environments rarely combine this easily: abundance, convenience, and intense reward. Food today can be sweet, salty, fatty, soft, cheap, portable, advertised, and available at 2 a.m. from a gas station that smells faintly of coffee and regret. Your ancient body sees a donut and thinks, excellent survival resource. Your modern brain knows, this is my third donut and I am not being chased by winter. But the body is not reading the context. It is reading the signals: energy, taste, reward, more. Again, ancient diets were not perfect. Ancient humans dealt with hunger, parasites, food poisoning, seasonal shortages, and sometimes probably ate things because the alternative was staring at a rock and becoming archaeology. So the point is not ancient food good, modern food bad. The point is your cravings are not random stupidity. They can make sense in a different food environment. A brain that once benefited from wanting calorie-rich foods now lives in a world where calorie-rich foods are everywhere. That is not a character flaw. That is a mismatch. Your body is not saying, let's ruin this person's life. It is saying, energy detected. And modern life is saying, would you like that in family size? Which is honestly rude. Now for the third system, stress. Your stress response is not a bug. It is one of the reasons your ancestors survived long enough for you to be here, indoors, watching a stick figure explain biology. Stress prepares the body to act. Heart rate rises. Attention sharpens. Energy mobilizes. That is useful when the problem is immediate. A predator, a conflict, a storm, a fire, a large animal looking at you with unacceptable confidence. In those moments, stress is not bad. Stress is your body saying, do something now. But modern stress is strange. It is often invisible, abstract, social, financial, digital, continuous. Your body does not need a tiger to activate stress. A deadline can do the job surprisingly well. So can debt, so can traffic, so can an unread message, so can a tiny red notification bubble sitting there like a blood pressure experiment. And the weird part is that modern stress often demands the opposite of what your body prepares you to do. Your body says move. Your calendar says sit. Your body says fight or flee. Your job says please remain professional during this PowerPoint. Your body says resolve the threat. Your inbox says there are 47 threats, and 12 of them say quick question. Now, ancient humans absolutely had stress. Let's not pretend the past was a wellness retreat with mammoths. They faced hunger, injury, infection, cold, conflict, childbirth, predators, and no modern medicine. The past was not easier. It was just different. Many ancient threats were physical and immediate. Many modern threats are abstract and never really end. A predator either leaves, attacks, or becomes dinner if you are extremely lucky and very organized. But a mortgage? That thing hunts you for decades, so your body uses ancient tools on modern problems. More alertness, more tension, more readiness, but often there is nowhere for that energy to go, so it stays in the body, in the jaw, in the shoulders, in the stomach, in the sleep you cannot quite reach. Your body is not being dramatic. It is trying to protect you with a system shaped in a different world. Modern life gave that system spreadsheets, which feels unfair. So what are we supposed to do with this? The answer is not reject modern life. Please do not run into the forest with a spear because a YouTube video made you emotional. Modern life has done incredible things: medicine, sanitation, warm homes, food security, emergency care, glasses, dentistry, shoes that do not feel like a personal attack. The past was not better. Ancient humans were not superior to us, and modern humans are not broken. The point is more interesting than that. Your body makes more sense when you remember where it came from. The desire to move is not weird. The craving for easy energy is not random. The stress response to modern pressure is not weakness. These are ancient systems trying to operate inside a world they did not evolve to expect. Your body was shaped across environments where movement was normal, food required effort, and stress often demanded action. Now it lives in a world of chairs, snacks, screens, schedules, and invisible problems that follow you home in your pocket. No wonder it feels strange sometimes. No wonder modern life can feel like wearing shoes on the wrong feet. Technically possible, deeply uncomfortable, and confusing after a while, but mismatch is not destiny. Your body is flexible. That is one of the most human things about it. We adapt, we learn, we build new habits, we change environments, we make tools, then realize the tools are making us weird, then make more tools to fix the first tools. Classic human behavior. Maybe the first step is not blaming yourself. Maybe it is understanding the system. When your body wants movement, maybe it is not being inconvenient. When it wants high-energy food, maybe it is not being evil. When it reacts strongly to stress, maybe it is not being weak. Maybe it is doing something ancient. Something that once made sense. Something that still makes sense if you look at it from the right world. You are not a failed modern person. You are a very old animal living in a very new habitat. A creature shaped by walking, hunger, firelight, weather, danger, tools, groups, and landscapes. Now trying to survive office chairs, snack drawers, traffic, passwords, and emails that somehow keep reproducing. Your body is not stupid. It is old software running in a very new world. And maybe the reason modern life feels so weird is that part of you still remembers a world that no longer exists.